Today I'm here with Quentin Kenihan and we'll be talking about his journey and media career and how that's evolved over the years. Now, for me in media advertising, I've been doing this game for 13 years, but I have nothing on this man who's been in the limelight and working in media since he was a kid. So for the people who don't know who you are, Q, give us a bit of an idea, rundown on your history and where it all started.
G'day folks. Looking very pleased to be here with G Advertising. Jody, I started my career when I was 7 years old. A reporter by the name of Mike Willisey did a documentary on me. It became the highest rating documentary in Australian television history. And from then on, the media kind of kept following me throughout my time growing up, through adolescence and then as an adult, and I really didn't feel as though I could be in another career other than film and television. It was definitely hard to be a receptionist or get another job when you're on the cover of the Woman's Day magazine. So it was really, I didn't have another choice, and so I had to really embrace it and learn the fundamentals of the business side of it and the technical side of it, not just the on-camera side of it.
It's very interesting. You've had a very full-on career. We
Yep.
see lots and lots of changes over the years.
Yep.
You progressed from, your documentaries and the Mike Willisey to taking this seriously as
Yeah.
a career focus, right?
Yeah.
So you've been someone, and this is what I really love to talk about and what people I think are interested in, your involvement and how that's changed over the years in media. What's been your observation of the media?
It's definitely changed. It's very much changed from a bricks and mortar place to very much an ethereal in the cloud space. And that's where I've seen it's change really only in the last 10 years. I mean, when I first got my first wireless device that had Wi-Fi in 2006. So from then on, we were starting to consume media from other than the television or the radio.
Yep.
The internet was okay if you wanted to download a 3-minute trailer or, download a GIF or a JPEG. But the bandwidth was so slow that you could really do very little. But since broadband came in, media has been able to progress from the television to the internet, and it's really changed the whole business model of the business, and also how consumers consume the product. When I was starting out, we were editing things on big, huge, giant tapes, and we were pumping out TV shows for ratings that were hugely, vastly bigger than what they are now. And it's also compacted down so much because the market is so segmented.
Yes.
And so you can create media through anywhere. We've got a little studio here that we've set up. Now, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to afford this.
No,
this wouldn't
have been doable. It was
exactly.
the big guys.
This would have been an $80,000 to a $100,000 camera. You would have had $20,000 worth of lights. Now anyone with a camera and a computer can create.
Yes.
And so creating a business model that adapts to that has been like hitting the ground running.
Yes.
And so my job as a filmmaker, and I don't call myself a filmmaker anymore because I think that's too narrow. I call myself a content creator.
Yep.
Because I believe that in this day and age, you really have to be media diverse. And by media diverse, I mean film, television, internet, radio.
Wherever people are and they're engaging.
Wherever people are and they're engaging, and you can find an audience,
Yes.
then that's where you go. And unfortunately, well, no, fortunately and unfortunately, I've had to spread myself across multiple medias. So I have a radio show, I have a YouTube channel, I have a Facebook page, I have a Twitter account, I have a Snapchat account, I have an Instagram account, I have a LinkedIn account, a Google Plus account, a
This
Tumblr
leads
account.
me to the
you know,
next
I
question.
have everything, and it is a constant, like, 5-day-a-week job just to
Yeah.
create content for all these things.
Yeah, yeah. And you've been, this leads me to the next question. You've been a very early adopter and seeing the opportunity in social media and seeing the opportunity in multiple platforms because you've had this exposure in traditional for so long.
Yeah.
And you've got a big following and that people want to know about Quentin. There's still things happening in your life. You're still working constantly and evolving all the time. So social media in particular, let's talk about that one because you know how passionate I am about this, this space, right?
Absolutely.
Now, you've been this early adopter. You've you've been very public in documenting your life through video, through all these different platforms you're talking about. Why is that important to you?
You know, my family often ask me this, my friends often ask me this, and I've never actually given the proper answers, but
Give us the proper answer.
I will give you the proper answer. When I was growing up, the demographic to people who were my core fan base were probably 40 plus. So 40 to 60 plus, it was mums and dads who had seen me on the TV as a kid and things like that. And a lot of those people now are getting old, they're passing away. So I had to evolve my audience. So now I grabbed the kids that were watching the TV when I was a kid. So I had to evolve to encapsulate their audience. And now they're having kids. So now I'm having to change it up again and evolve and grab their audience.
Yes.
Right? And to do that, you have to adapt to where the audience is.
And the attention, right?
And the attention is, right? So back then it was TV. TV turned into social media. Social media then went everywhere.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I got in early into these certain things, like, it would be better for me. Like, I started a YouTube channel in 2007. I never really did anything seriously with it until 2009, 2010, but I knew it was important, right? I started Facebook in 2007 as well, and I was like a really early adopter.
Yeah, I was 2007, and I remember, like, the first time I jumped on Facebook, I was like, oh my God.
Okay, I have a funny story. Okay, so back when Yahoo was a bulletin board, this is like 1994. I was one of the first 10,000 people to join Yahoo, to have a yahoo.com account.
Right.
And for the first 10,000 people, we all got sent prospectuses, like share prospectuses.
Yeah.
And if we spent $5,000, we'd get an allotment of shares and all be good. So I'm looking at this package that's been sent to me, and I'm discussing it with my friend. I'm thinking, Yahoo? What a crap name is that for a stock market company? And I threw it out, right?
Wow.
Now, if I'd have actually been smart and not given it up, I would be $42 million richer.
Oh, no.
So this is it, you know, and this is the big lesson that I learned.
Yeah.
You know, you can never discount where technology is going to go. You can never take granted where social media is going to take you and where you have the chance to find an audience.
Yes. Now, you know, we've worked together before. So we've done, last year you had your Fringe show, which was a massive success.
Yes.
And I want to take you back to a time when we were at the Hilton Hotel. You remember having a meeting, and there was you and I and John,
Yep, John L.
And-
Simpson, my producer.
Yes, and it was really interesting because it was the first time that you and I, apart from catching up, talking about this stuff, and as friends too, it was the first time that we actually went, right, how are we going to promote this Fringe show?
Well, this was really, and I say again, I was an early adopter because I was one of the first G advertising clients.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to work with G advertising, not only because it was you were the one at the helm of it, but I could see the power of what you were able to do, and I saw the level of expanse in your thinking about how to gauge an audience, how to identify an audience, and how to capture that audience. And as a person who needed an audience quickly to generate ticket sales, to generate crowdfunding, working with you was such a blessing because, all that hard work that I usually have to put into the day-to-day slog of content creating and uploading and doing all the analytics just went straight out of my hands.
Yeah,
So it left
yeah.
me time to focus on the creative, on the actual production of the show, and throw it back to the stuff that you love and you're good at, and I knew you were good at it. And what I thought was great was that we immediately had that trust.
Yeah, yeah.
That meant.
And we moved super fast,
we
right?
moved
It was
mega fast.
It was. I remember, like from that discussion, just to give people a bit of a rundown on how that sort of worked. We worked out the content of how we were going to do it, how we were going to promote the show. We did a Kickstarter campaign. We did movie ticket giveaways.
Yeah.
We engaged audiences. We used Facebook.
We did.
And we managed to get the funding immediately. Like, it was pretty quick.
It
And
was
then-
really quick.
yeah.
Like, we had a 90-day campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was through Podsable. It wasn't through Kickstarter.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was through Podsable because Podsable are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember we got it like in 65 days
Yeah.
out of the 90-day campaign, which I was really like, wow.
And then we got Duncan Bashir Hannon, who was the major sponsor of the show. We put together quick proposal. They saw the opportunity in what you were doing and the exposure and the social media, everything. We incorporated all of them across.
Yeah, they became a
channel.
named sponsor. I remember that, you and I.
And they got a huge coverage.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
For the money that they invested in it and what they got in return off of everything was just phenomenal, right? And
Yeah,
they saw
it was.
So they were. It was nice to have someone that just got it immediately and were on the bandwagon.
Yeah, because, the message that I try and encapsulate in everything I do is that you should always believe in the power of your dreams. You should always believe in yourself and focus on your goals. And people have on social media have accused me of being inspiration porn, and if so be it, I don't really care.
But you're very authentic, right? You speak your truth.
My message is very authentic, and having people that believed in that message and believed in what I was doing, and believing that not only was there a market there, but there was also a market to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't for kicks and giggles, right? We don't do this
Exactly.
stuff
And I think we all walked out with profit.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant. It wasn't a great profit, but for a first Fringe show, to be voted one of the top 40 shows, to be given 4 out of 5 stars, and to make a profit.
Win-win.
Win-win.
Awesome.
And that's purely at the beginning of working with G Advertising and establishing a partnership. And this is why I'm so pleased to be able to be here today to say that, people should trust in G Advertising and should entrust you guys for for the business of advertising and marketing in this climate, because it's such a shattered climate. You know, you can.
It's fragmented.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Fragmented.
Fragmented.
Yeah.
It's this fragmented market where you can go one of 20 different ways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't
exactly.
know which ways you're going,
Yeah.
you can get lost
And
so
I
easily.
think it's so interesting you say that, because I feel that for me as a marketer, and you know, 10, 20 years ago, this was an easy game, right?
Oh, it's easy
Because
game.
I could just say, I'll take your money, thank you. I'll put it in 3 things: TV, radio, and print.
Yeah.
And it would work. But now we have to be a lot smarter. But it's not just about finding the platform. So whether it be YouTube or Facebook, you know, or whatever it is, Instagram, it's about, you know, using the content effectively and being authentic, like you try and do with everything.
And you know, first it started as, okay, online, we're going to buy an online ad. Okay,
Yeah.
that's done and gone, right?
The click-throughs are so bad,
Yeah,
right?
the click-throughs are so bad. Then it became, okay, we're going to do online competitions. Now, yeah, great, that worked for a
But
little
you're
while.
selling, right? People
But
are
you're
sick
still
of it.
selling, you're
Yeah.
still selling. And now what we're doing is we're going to say, no, we're going to put the products in people's hands and we're going to create online influencers.
Yes, yes.
And that's where the market has gone,
Yeah.
right? Is the online influencers where you say, okay, I've got, say, a bus company. Right, instead of advertising the bus, right, we're going to invite 15 influencers to come for a drive on the bus and then let them have a great experience and then let them spread the word about the message of the bus
Yes.
to the others.
Yeah.
And in the end, that's free advertising.
Yeah, and you know, the big brands do this well. Apple's done it well over the years. Steve Jobs did it. Tesla just did this recently, where they actually invited only a limited amount of journalists to come in and test drive.
Yep.
So then those journalists go off and influence the world, right?
Yeah.
But as small business, for the small and medium businesses who don't have the global exposure like Tesla or Apple.
Well, this is where people like the small to medium business are great by coming to someone like you, because you already have those connections and you already have those insights. You already have those influences.
Yes.
And it's about that age-old saying about what Steve Jobs' philosophy is, which was, don't show what a product can do, show how a product can make you feel.
Yeah. Emotions, absolutely,
exactly.
emotional.
And so, you know, let's just not say, okay, here's a jug of water. Here's a jug of water. Great. But here's a jug of water and it's going to rehydrate you and make you feel great.
Yeah.
That's the selling point,
Yeah.
right? And this is why working with you and in this space that we are now in was so beneficial to me, because we were able to put that feeling as people's idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the show and have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the show and enjoy
Be
myself.
entertained.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, last question, final question. It's been interesting to see previous generations that didn't have social media, right?
Yep.
So their lives haven't been documented.
No.
So we're like the first cab off the rank, where everything we're doing is going to be looked back on in years to come. You know, your grandkids will kind of see this stuff.
Yeah, live casting is forever now.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, you know, I remember in the late 90s, there was the first girl that ever did it was a girl called Jenny Cam, back in America, in New Jersey. This girl spent 3 years of her life just filming herself at home constantly. And she became an internet sensation.
Yeah.
She went on Letterman, you know, the whole thing. So she was probably the first person ever to live cast herself. Now we all do it.
Yep.
through YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat is
Yes.
the newest one.
Yep.
Where people are just live casting themselves. And you're right, we are the first generation of people who live cast themselves.
But here's my question though. Like, I don't think people are grasping the fact that in generations we can look back and see the life of Quentin, the life of Jodie Gaffney.
Absolutely.
So my question to you is, that is a legacy. That's a legacy you'll leave, and
Yep.
we want it to be a good one. We don't want to be talking crap or off topic or things that are not, not our truth, and authentic. Being authentic is going to be key. So, my question: what is your legacy? What do you want people to think about you in all the content, all the things you're sharing?
Really, what I want people to take away from me, is that I was a person that stood up for certain rights and issues, but I wanted to show people in life that a dream or a goal is important, and chasing it is just as important as achieving it. That's really
The journey,
it's the journey.
not a destination, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise-
because the thing is, once you reach a goal, that's great, and it's
Yeah.
amazing, and it's the moment that you've always wanted. But after it's over, you're going, what now?
And this is why you're on the move. Every time I talk to this man, it's something new.
Yeah, you've got to keep extending your boundaries. You've got to keep your goals going. You've got to keep reaching further.
Yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, you just stay stagnant.
yeah.
And this is why I'm constantly, creating pipe dreams for myself. Huge pie in the sky moments, and somehow I reach them. And it's just weird,
Yeah.
you know?
I'll share a little story about Quentin. Only, I think it was just after Christmas, you called me, and we hadn't spoken for a little bit because I was away.
Yeah.
And then you call me out of the blue, and with this man, it's not he's straight into it. He dives straight in. He doesn't have time to waste. So you call me and go, hey, I've got this new plan. This is what I want. Are you going to be on board? Are we going to achieve this? What do you think? I need a yes or a no right now. I've got to move. And you're like all over it. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, good to hear from you, man. And yeah, I'm all over it. So
Well, that's the thing. I just don't have time to suffer fools or suffer...
yeah,
And this is what I must stress to people. The most important thing in life, the most important commodity in life that you will ever have is your time.
yes.
And it's how you spend your time.
Far more important than money, right?
Yeah, money comes and goes. You'll make it, you'll lose it,
Yeah.
But how you spend your time and the people that you spend it with is the most important thing in your life. And the moments that you can cut down and cut the noise... Can I swear? No.
Yeah,
probably
we'll
not.
beep it out.
The bullshit in your life. Sorry. And just be real and authentic with people
Yeah.
is great. And this is why working with you was so great, because you were such a like-minded person. You were able to market me, and I've seen you're able to market others with the truth and sincerity that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. That's why you have to be selective with who you work with, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But thank you, Q,
Because
man.
it just if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no time, no point mincing around.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that your company's crap or another company's not good. It just means you don't gel together.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is why, and I'm sorry for giving another plug, but this is why you should give you guys a go.
This was not meant to be a testimonial, by the way.
No, but
So
sorry.
I said to Quentin, can I come in and interview you? And he's like, I don't want to know what you're going to ask. And he's just like going for gold.
But, I'm just saying, if all you can do is approach a company and see if they're a good fit.
Yeah.
And G Advertising for me was a great fit, and I'd love to see if they're a great fit for you.
Thank you, Q. I
No worries,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Nah.
Shaking hands.
Take care, guys.
All right, see you guys.